Hi everyone, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is today's card. It's a nice simple one that I think would go very well for one of the men in your life. And if you stick with me, I will show you how I made it. This is an oval of very vanilla card, and I've cut it with the largest of the smooth-edged oval framelits. The very, very largest one has got a scalloped edge. And this is the World Traveller embossing folder. And I've got some Lost Lagoon ink and a bit of sponge. And I am going to sponge carefully onto the inside of the embossing folder. Now, I've tried this a few different ways. I've tried going direct to paper, and I've tried sprayering. This time I'm going to try sponging. And I'm sponging on the side that's going to be pressed in, so when I turn it over I can read Sizzix. And I think I've got good coverage there. So I'm going to place this where I want it, because obviously I'm not going to get the whole of the image in. And now I'm going to bring in my texture booty. Now this has been retired, but you can still get it on clearance if you're quick. And Sizzix still sell their own, it's just that Stampin Up don't sell them anymore. But if you're really, really quick, they are in the clearance rack, and they're a very, very good price. But if you haven't got one of these, then of course you can use your Big Shot or whatever you usually use to emboss folders. So when I open that up, that's my result. This is crumb cake. And I've got my stamping sponge, and I'm just going to load up my sponge. I'm going to take a bit off on this bit of paper, and I'm just going to sponge lightly, just trying to catch the raised bits. And particularly around the edge of the oval. I want to make that look a bit more distressed. That's starting to look nice and antique-y. And I've got some old olive as well. And last of all, I have this stamp set, which is Timeless Textures, and I'm using that stamp, and still with the old olive ink, and I'm stamping off because I just want very light, a very, very light texture. And now that is looking nice and aged and a little bit grungy. This is Mossy Meadow cardstock, and I've taken my piece of A4 and I have chopped it in half and folded it in half to make myself an A6 card front. And this is a piece from our Going Places DSP stack. So I'm going to layer that onto the front of the card. and I am just liking this paper so much because it is so good for masculine cards or cards that, you know, are a little bit plainer, a little bit simpler, not quite so fussy. And if I come back with my oval, that's going to sit in the center of my card. So again with the snail. And I'm being generous with the snail. And the nice thing about this piece of paper is that it's got a grid all over it. So for people like me who are not very good at lining things up and always get things a little bit off center, that's really helpful. And as you can see, that's starting to come together now. So now I need to do a little bit of stamping, and the companion stamp set that goes with the embossing folder and the DSP is this one. It's called Going Global, and I'm using You Mean the World to Me. I'm going to stamp that on a scrap of Very Vanilla with Mossy Meadow ink. So fingers crossed. And there it is. It's upside down, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to come in with my large oval punch, and I am going to chop that out. And that, ooh, no. Right, sorry about that. I threw that on the floor and had to go and retrieve it. And you didn't want to see the top of my head, really, you didn't. So that one's been punched out, and I've got the scalloped oval punch and a scrap of Mossy Meadow, and you can see I've been hacking into it, and that is going to sit on top of that with a dimensional or two. Okay, I don't know why I did that. That was strange. Oh, right, okay. But doesn't matter. It still works. It all still works. There you go. So that now is going to go onto the front of my card, just there. And I'm debating, do I need ribbon? I got some of my Mossy Meadow twill ribbon, and I'm just debating putting that on, and yeah, I think I will. So I'm going to cut myself just a short length of the cotton twill ribbon, and this time I have got my ribbon scissors, and how am I going to stick this on? Yeah, I think like that. So glue dots are probably going to be my best bet at this point. So I'm going to put a couple of glue dots onto the back. Okay, and run the ribbon across there. Now I'm going to snip those ends so they're pointing in the same direction, and that sits on there with glue dots. I think I've already got some dimensionals on there, so I don't want to puff it up too high. And you may have realised that the design of this card is evolving even as I'm making it. And that's kind of the way I work, you know. I start off with an idea in my mind, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm going to put that there at a jaunty angle. Okay, now because I've used Mossy Meadow card for my to make my card, the inside it's quite dark if somebody's going to write sentiment on it. So I've got a piece of our very vanilla envelope paper, which is just the same colour as our very vanilla card, but it's lighter. It is definitely a paper, not a card. And I've got another stamp from the same set, and this one is I'm Lost Without You. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm just going to put that just above centre. And there it is. And some snail on the back. Oops. And there we are. Here's the finished card, and I think that would be a nice card to send to one of the men in my life. And I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I would really love it if you would leave me a comment or click the like button. And if you'd like to see more of my tutorials, then please do consider subscribing to this channel, because I will be posting more soon. And I've got a blog, I've got a Facebook page, and you can find them from the links in the more information box below. And of course, if you want to find out how to get your hands on the materials that I've used, well, there is a link to my Stampin' Up shop as well. But just for now, thank you for watching, and I hope I'm going to see you again soon. Bye bye.